action.
You didn't get the internet's #1 most hated movie right now.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
of all time, forever. Let's start the review off just with this. Everyone's like, it's worse than Madam Web.
It's not.
You haven't seen Madam Web. You don't.
You don't need to.
Is it that bad?
He was in the Amazon with my mom when she was researching spiders right before she died.
It is.
Madam Web's bad.
Ooh,
This movie is
real
nowhere
bad.
near as bad as Madam Web. This reminds me of an action movie from 2005.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's all.
That they just shoved an IP on.
Yeah, they just like, cool, that's a cool space thing with neon lights and purples, lots of purples.
So let's get Eli Roth. This wacky space adventure.
Yeah,
like,
but then when you
why?
find out, which I don't know how many people knew, that this was a rated R movie.
Yeah.
That they hacked to pieces and re-released it as a PG-13 movie.
Now it's.
But it would have been cooler as a rated R.
Yeah, big time. You could have
It would
gotten
have
a
made
lot
more sense.
Could have gotten some F-bombs in there.
Some
probably.
blood.
More blood.
Better action.
Now it's released the Roth cut. I know. Which now I'm like, our studio's just doing that just so we can get like a director's cut that's
does feel
completely
like it
different from the
sometimes.
movie. Yeah.
I don't understand in this case because it was never tracking well.
No.
So then they were like, well, let's hack it up from an R to a PG-13 so it'll make more money. But that's not the case, as Deadpool Wolverine proved. If the movie's good, you're going to go see the movie. R, PG-13, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
So I bet you it would have been a better movie had they just left it alone.
Yeah, I think even like as a movie, it's not a great movie.
No, but it's
fun.
It's fine, yeah.
yeah. I like the characters.
It just felt like
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
but your favorite actress
Kate Blanchett.
was hasn't done them wrong yet.
Hasn't done
Everybody
wrong.
else
still hasn't done
was
wrong yet.
basically phoning it in, except Tiny Tina. She may have been
Yeah, which they completely like reworked her
her character, but like she had the most charisma and the most like I'm so into this movie out of everybody, and
Time to make it rain with your body parts.
it felt like it was wasted.
Which it pays
completely.
off on screen though.
It does, but
Because she is the best
She is.
out of all of them.
Jamie Lee Curtis, like
She's terrible.
what happened?
Jamie Lee Curtis is bad. in
What
this movie.
happened?
Yeah.
Is that why she was shit talking the MCU?
That's her character though that she's
Yeah,
playing is like kooky doctor, Tannis. So
Kevin Hart, we
Kevin
mentioned.
Hart.
Well, he has some badass moments in that.
Yes,
He
his
does.
character's cool.
But
Yes,
when
Roland's cool.
When he's introduced, he also it's like do the line, "Hey, I'm here to rescue you," and he just seems so already disinterested at being in the movie from the opening time you see him. And
Yeah.
you're like,
No, I don't really feel like it.
Jane, you're right. His scenes were cool. Like
Yeah.
when he's gunning through all.
Like,
the
when he's, like, running and
psychos,
gunning,
that's
like,
fucking
it's like-
awesome.
yeah.
But if it was anyone but Kevin Hart, like
and I like Kevin Hart. I don't
Yeah,
hate. We don't
Kevin's
hate on him
cool.
as much as other
it's
people
hard
do.
to see him in a comedic,
Goofy role.
serious leader.
Yeah.
You know, with occasional quips.
Yeah.
Like, I can see why they casted you for this, but I don't agree with it.
Well, because
You
in most of
know?
the movies, like as a Fast and Furious reference, he plays more of like the ludicrous character than the Vin Diesel character, right? You can't shift from like if the next Fast and the Furious, like Ludacris is now taking over leading the team, you'd be like, I don't know
He's
if this
cooking at the
works.
barbecue.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
yeah, that would not.
that's
Oh,
what I'm
no.
saying.
Yeah,
It just felt
if you got
weird.
A Tyrese and Ludacris spin-off movie,
Right.
Oh.
You'd be like,
Actually,
I'd watch it.
I watch it.
but I wouldn't accept it.
it would definitely be missing the.
Yeah,
Like-
Right.
yeah.
That's what this movie felt like to me the whole time, is it was missing. I don't know what. I don't know. The dialogue obviously wasn't great because it was cheesy action. The special effects were way better than they had any right to be. I felt like for what the movie was.
Yeah, they were going for a certain level of cheese.
They were,
like
like,
the
it-
action
like-
and the special effects for sure.
It did feel like Borderlands world, but it
Yeah.
felt like a multiverse version of the world that we've ever played the video games in.
Yeah, not having like Handsome Jack
Mm-hmm.
was really weird. Even though the main villain is basically Handsome Jack anyway. Like
Yeah,
he
like,
even has like the
The
face.
thing, but it's almost like he is the dude who originally. So it's like this is kind of like a prequel to the video games, then almost the way that they wrote it.
But it's definitely the first game.
But it's also the first
Right.
game.
Yeah.
So it like has everything to do with Lilith and like her being the chosen one.
Right.
You
Pretty
know,
much.
like it's the most cookie cutter
It's
plot. Like people are crapping on this movie and they're just like, it's bad. Like,
Give me a
okay,
reason
but
why.
is it
Why?
bad? Like we're giving reasons. I liked watching it. But
Exactly.
It's
It was nowhere near as.
perfect.
It was also
Yeah.
nowhere near as bad as you would believe it is. If you just want to turn your brain off popcorn movie,
That's
it's
what it is.
fine.
Yeah.
It's not going to offend you. You're not like Madam Web is offensive because They destroyed comic book lore. They took shortcuts. They changed the movie from what we already knew it was going to
changed
be.
the powers.
They changed
like,
everything. It's terrible. It's bad. Like special effects, like the people, you could almost see the bungee cords when they're the spider people. It's not good. It's not good.
Oh.
And this having almost the same budget, I mean, it looked and it way more talent. Like cast-wise, this is not. Yeah.
I think we've been spoiled with other video game movies.
That's the
now.
problem.
Like, and even Deadpool Wolverine coming out right before this. Like it's like not even close.
Well, because they handled the cheesy, over-the-topness way better.
Yeah, but like Detective Pikachu, even that shitty Mortal Kombat movie that came out from Warner Brothers, like the Sonic movies are great.
Mario was entertaining.
Mario was
it wasn't
good.
perfect,
it
but it was
entertaining.
better,
it was better than this.
I fuck with Pixels too.
Pixels is even a better video game movie than this, I would say. They execute better.
Looks better.
That.
It looks way better.
Yeah, that was years ago.
Yeah.
Not a huge Adam Sandler fan at the moment,
No.
for reasons we can't
No,
discuss
Roth
here.
Schneider was not in Pixels, I do not think. So.
Unless he was doing a voice on one of the cars. We won't go there.
Don't
Anyway.
worry about that.
Anyway.
Yeah. Do we want to get into ratings or?
Yeah, JJ, what do you think?
Okay. So we all know that Borderlands is rated M for mature, right?
Okay.
Now.
He's gonna tie this into a nine.
Yes, I'm
Here we
gonna
go.
tie it. I'm
Okay.
tying it. I'm tying it. So, if that's the case, and Borderlands was supposed to be an R-rated movie, I would have gave it a much higher rating.
I think it would have been a
because-
better movie.
Yes, it would have been a way better
kneecap.
movie.
There are action scenes that you can see them kneecap. The one that stands out in my head is when she shoots the two dudes. They do this weird camera angle that makes sure that what you would have seen spray out the sides of their heads are completely cut because they don't want to show you the blood because once you get a headshot, it's rated R, baby.
Yes.
I needed some gore.
I did.
needed-
For
yeah.
that style, did he play Borderlands? Like, that's what I mean. Does the
don't think
studio
so.
understand what Borderlands is?
Like
Like-
the wiki.
Like,
Yeah.
if they would have did that, I would have gave it a higher rating.
It would have been. Yeah, I agree.
I would give it. I can't give it a higher rating. I'll give it a 4.
Wow, that's very. Your scale is a lot different than ours.
He
which is
really
fine,
goes with his gut, though.
Which is fine.
You normally out high rank us, so we were expecting you were going like, I'm in my head like, he's gonna say like 7, and I'm gonna shake my head at him, and he's like 4, and it's like, oh.
That's reasonable though. Like, and again, there's like, it
Like,
could
don't
be
get
a
me wrong.
negative 4.
It's a movie I could watch, but
I'd put it on again.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd click through it for sure. I liked that they executed on it feeling like a video game.
It
There
did.
was there like a first person moment even? I don't even feel like there was.
Was there?
Like,
Not really.
they could have
That
done a
would've been
Doom
cool.
thing.
No, that's-
like a snap into first person for combat.
Why
like
didn't they do
the
that?
That would've been cool.
Tiny Tina fight felt like an actual boss battle. Like in the video game, you're like in this arena. And like she's throwing
I
bombs
just-
while
that-
like Krieg is
yeah.
charging at you, and I was like, I could totally
That's
see
a
myself.
dope ass
with
boss
the
fight.
controller.
They almost
you
should
know?
have done like a Tiny Tina movie. Like I felt like she nailed. That was the best of the casting because she's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if
Like,
you
you
were
can show-
already
you
gonna
can
go
see her
off
dedication
script
to
and do
it.
whatever the hell you wanted to do anyway, then
True. Just make an origin story for
make
her.
an origin story.
Yeah.
Expand. Don't
Like,
adapt the
explain
game.
how she got into the cell, right? From the
Expand
beginning.
on the story. Don't just adapt.
No,
Expand.
especially when you adapt
Yeah.
and then go, I don't like
Like
this.
since she's like a clone, just give her like a whole origin story on how she came to be.
Why
Like
is she a
that's
clone?
yeah.
How did they get Iridium and DNA or whatever? that
Yeah,
was?
like
Yeah,
just
I
go
mean,
from there.
Just take this info dump. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Move on to the movie. Like I hate that. There's
Yeah, I like the video game feel of it.
It
because
definitely had that.
I wanted to pick up the controller.
Yeah.
It just felt like a
Yeah.
long cutscene. I'm like, when do I get to play it? When do I get to play the video game that I'm watching?
That might have been my problem. It's like Jamie Lee Curtis went very like, I am an NPC. You know, like.
Like you're talking to her, you press X to talk to her in the game.
Yeah, I didn't need
And
that.
now she gives you a dialogue dump.
Like take notes from the Jumanji NPC. That dude was cool.
Once again, Jumanji is in great peril, and only you can help.
From the makers of, I'm pretty sure there's some development team like
wouldn't
on the
surprise
same.
me.
Yeah, like, because Kevin Hart's in all those movies, of course. I'm gonna go. I can't give it a 6 because it's not a 6.
No.
No.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5
Oh, wow.
Oh,
because
okay.
I like watching it.
Yeah.
You know, it was IMAX. I had fun. Kate Blanchett.
Yeah, you know, you love Kate Blanchett. She was great.
That hair?
She's the only
Ugh.
one that I feel like. Well, she goes
God.
into every movie. Although the hair was perfect.
God damn.
I'm gonna give it a straight 5. I mean,
Yeah, that's
it's
fair.
generic.
Yeah.
It's middle of the road.
It's sad that it's come to this. You know, that we can't give it above a 6.
Like,
But
I
Like,
really wanted like a over the top You know, $100
there
million
was
budget,
so
like
much
a big.
potential
I
there.
know that's why
That's the
it's
problem.
worse, I think, than
Yeah.
it could have been.
It should have been nonstop fucking action,
Yes.
gore.
You could have done
you
almost a
know.
1-to-1 of the video game and no one would have
I
been
don't know why
mad.
you didn't.
No one would have been mad.
You could even have done Borderlands 2. And no one
Smash
would
the
have
two
been mad.
together and
I
people
know.
wouldn't have been mad. Yeah, no, I don't disagree.
Yeah. It's a shame because now we'll never get another Borderlands movie.
Nope.
Because they fucked it.
No, and that probably canceled a bunch of things in the pipeline from other video game stuff too, because they're like, well, we
In
can't.
the BCU, Borderlands Cinematic Universe, they had a whole 100 years of Minions movies. Why can't they do 100 years of Borderlands movies?
Those
You
games
know?
are enough to explore though. Like you
Oh,
could
Oh
have
yes, that
enough
is.
lore.
That's
like
very
better than
cool.
Star. You could do like a Star Warsy, you know, but like a cheesy, funny Star Wars, you know.
Yeah, I still don't agree with the director. And
No,
I know the
we
studio
said this
tried
last
this
year.
out.
When I saw that, I was excited, and I'm like, oh, Eli Roth directing
That's
that?
weird. It's
Yeah.
a weird choice. Especially if the studio's like, we're going to cast you even though you're known for gore and violence and horror.
But last year we talked about this. You were like, "Well, that means it's going to be bloody." And we were I'm like, "Okay, you're right. This might actually be good." And then they
And
handcuffed
then-
the dude they brought in to make it.
Why'd they bring him
Why'd
in?
they even hire him?
Like, we're going to bring you in for this reason and then kneecap you.
Yeah.
like
And then bring in the Deadpool director, who's also violent and gory, and then also not let him.
sheesh. That's,
Yeah, I think a Guy Ritchie, a James Gunn, a Sean
I
Levy,
agree.
even Mad Max, George Miller would have been, you know, like great for this shit.
How
like
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, the Spy Kids Just Till Dawn dude.
Yeah.
They were trying to get some horror guys in
Just-
there.
yeah.
Anybody at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're saying that. Oh, by the way, a little side note to wrap this up. They were in the process of supposedly going to make Thanksgiving 2 because it became like a cult movie. And Eli Roth was supposedly this flopped so hard that it might affect. He might be in trouble for a few years.
All right, my
like
score
M.
goes
Night.
up to a 9
Thank you, Borderlands.
Oh no.
for sparing us from watching a Thanksgiving 2. 10
Oh,
out of 10.
God.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. We'll watch again.
Yeah. All right, like, subscribe, do all that. Tell us what you thought of Borderlands. I know everybody. We're kind of in the.
We actually
We're
agree.
in the middle here, though.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
We didn't
Not-
go like it's a 9, guys. Yeah.
Or go, it's just bad because it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Quote, awful.
I want people to go, that is the best time I've had in a movie theater in years.
So like that kind of horror.
Yeah.
So be
Ooh.
prepared and be ready. Not cheesy PG-13 horror
Yeah.
like.
The ending gets like, this is almost too much. Horror.
See, I've read the non-spoiler stuff, and people are like the end kind of. Some people are like it messed the movie up. I'm kind of like I don't know if I want another one.
The ending's great,
I'm curious now.
But it's like you kind of jumps the shark a little to the
Ooh,
point where
okay.
it's like you can't do another Alien movie.